Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. I don't know how this reading's gonna go. Today's one of those days where it's 7:30 and already so much has been asked of me. Anyway. Hello, maybe you're having a similar situation over there, wherever you are. No, I'm only taking single cards. Like that. That was neat. 8 of Cups. Walking away from what doesn't serve you. What doesn't bring you fulfillment. More specifically, things that maybe others think would make you happy, but truly they don't. Walking away from that. I have a lot to do this week. 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands and 8 of Cups are interesting because 9 of Wands is self-imposed bondage. Like you could get out of this situation, but you're choosing not to, right? Like that fence is knee-high and you're like, I'm stuck, man. So there may be some victim mentality about leaving things behind. Be careful. Be careful with being a victim, because you're not a victim. You are the author of your story. You are the person who gets to decide what life holds for you. With the High Priestess and Temperance coming out. Niall's on one today. He's outside and the door is open because I don't have a good light. And this isn't a good light either. But anyway. Anywho. Temperance is all about finding balance between your light and dark, consciousness, allowing to be guided by whatever it is you believe in. 7 of Pentacles was at the bottom of the deck when I pushed record. So this is about putting roots down, or like starting to root your ideas onto this planet, right? Like underground. Planting seeds, which came out yesterday in the yin yang as well. High Priestess is all about magic. This is wisdom. This is learning from situations instead of repeating situations to find that balance necessary, right? These are both major arcana. I'm looking at the numbers. So the High Priestess is all about this journey into consciousness. Temperance is about finding balance once you've done that. Which, speaking from experience, it's not always fun. In fact, it very rarely is fun. It is what you make it, though. It is what you make it. So, just like anything. Yee! We have the moon coming out. Look at that. He's just like chilling on my hand. Moon is ruled by Pisces, also a major arcana. It's about the depths of you, again, finding that balance. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is exciting, coming from the 7 of Pentacles to the 9 of Pentacles. We rooted it, and now we're harvesting it, right? So that's exciting. Whatever it is that you are planting seeds on is bound to grow as long as you water it, right? So the moon, again, we have this acknowledgement of the balance between light and dark. There's a saying, I'm pretty sure it's a cultural saying, but it talks about how everyone within them has a light wolf and a dark wolf. And, sorry, I got a notification. Okay. Let me look this up. So it's about taming the wolves, right? Which again is this temperance energy. You can see the light, the moon and the sun. Each have their role to play, right? Neither is better than the other. They just are, and they are differently. They are. So it's about balance, right? Within your depths, within your emotions. So this is asking you to really look within. And so, like, you've already walked away from what doesn't serve you, even if other people thought it would make you happy. You're like, you know what, no, I'm good here. And I'm refusing, hopefully, to not get stuck again, right? Instead, I'm going to plant these seeds for the future that I want, right? For the life that I want. And I'm going to take care of them, and I'm going to harvest them, and then I'm going to use that harvest as a means for material gain, right? Don't get stuck on the plants. Like, you don't have to work with plants for this to be for you. But I want you to recognize the steps here. We have 7 of Pentacles, planting roots, planting seeds, allowing them to grow, nourishing those ideas, habits, behaviors, whatever it is for you, releasing toxicity, and then seeing that through until it yields you more tangible results, right? All right. By allowing yourself to tap into your consciousness, allowing yourself to know your depths, allowing yourself to accept yourself as you are, and recognizing how magical that is, right? Okay. Whoa, loud Mar, huh? Marley has become my deputy. He is a snitch, and I love him for it. Nova used to be my advocate, my cat advocate, but he disappeared. I don't know where he is. He always disappears on full moons. Hopefully he comes back, but he hasn't been back in a couple weeks. He's been outside. Anyway, we have the 4 of Wands, which is about building solid foundation within community and home, right? Traditional tarot, it's very much like nuclear family based, but in this deck, the reason I use this deck is because, first of all, there's diversity. Second of all, it's not so tradish. So what are you planning for your, maybe the roots that you're putting down are things to support your community, support your place within that community. Either way, this 4 of Wands is about building something, not just for yourself, but for others, right? And having fun with it, okay? I'm in this process this week. I'm finally debuting the Artmobile on Friday and Saturday. Yesterday I posted it on Facebook. I got an incredible response for this town. So that's really exciting. So if you have whatever ideas you have, allow yourself to, I was just reflecting on that too. I'm just going to share quickly in case you're like wondering what this actually looks like in real life versus the cards. So in the beginning of the year, my car got, my battery died, and I didn't have the money because baby daddy gets paid weird at the end and beginning of the year. And so we had to like sit it out. We just had to, tough it out. And I had bought myself a wagon, so I was pushing the wagon. But regardless, because my car didn't work, I couldn't go to the community building with my art stuff. So I had to cancel how I was doing the art space with the city. And it wasn't that it wasn't fulfilling, but it really was kind of disappointing because people just weren't showing up. And my intention was really to have this space for kids, and it was really far away from the schools, whereas right now, we live right by the middle school. We live by all the schools. They're right on the street behind us. So this location is actually really dope for that. So I just allowed my universe to guide me. Now we were able to come into quite a bit of money. I'm not going to tell you how, but it was nothing illegal. But with that money, it was sitting in my account for a few weeks, and I had scam after scam after scam happen, and I was like, I can't have all of this money sitting in my account. I need to use it. So I was like, okay, let me find this vehicle. That's the one thing I really want. I want a vehicle to turn into an Artmobile. And I found the ambulance, and just reached out because I was like, I don't know if any, but I was like, oh, look at all that storage. That would be great, because if I get a bus, I'm gonna have to do a build, right? So it was about figuring that out, right? And it was about manifesting. It was about manifesting what I wanted. Hang on, I have to close the door behind me. Here, don't let the cats in. Eat your breakfast. side quests. So anyway, I was like, I need to spend this money before, it gets stolen. I had so many scams. Like, I almost got scammed out of all of the money. And so I manifested. It was funny because I told my landlord on, I think it was a Tuesday. I was like, hey, I'm back in the market for a bus, because he goes all over the place, and so he always knows shit. And he had already told me, months ago, before this, it was in the fall of last year, there was a bus in town that someone was selling, but I didn't have money at that time, but I did go talk to the guy. And anyway, so I allowed my emotions to kind of subside, right? Because I was like, I really want this. Let's see. So I told my landlord I was in the market. I was checking out Facebook Marketplace. And on Sunday that week, so I told him on Tuesday, and then Sunday we went and got the ambulance. So it was a very quick manifestation, but that's the thing. When you know what you want, you go after it, okay? You don't let anything stop you. And I feel like that's what this is. And so now it's going to be a community space. And like I said, the community is really responding well. And there's some other community art initiatives that are happening, and we've connected, and I hope we're not going to be competing. But it's funny because the woman that I connected with is building this art studio in one of these old buildings, which is what I really wanted. There's one building in town that I love, I really want, but doing this build, I was like, I don't have money for that, right? Because this took a lot of money, and I'm still not even done with it. I have to paint the outside. And so I was like, you know what, it's just not something in the cards for me at this point in time. We're gonna have to, start somewhere lower. And I saw her building, and it's on the other side. You can hear the train. There's the other side of the train tracks is this city is trying to expand on the other side of the train tracks, but right now it's just not really a thing. So I don't know. I know for the youth especially, it's probably, I don't know. So I'm really pleased with how this works out. So just trust yourself, trust your process, and that's the story. It does take manifestation. It takes money, right? Things that usually take money. But money is out there, right? I was applying for some grants and stuff, and I stopped because of the administration. And so, yeah. We have Two of Pentacles coming out. Again, finding balance. As I'm talking about money, finding balance between what it is that you have and what it is that you want, and how you can bring those things in together. Right? I'm going to have to let you go, son. These kids. Alright. I'm really exhausted today already. These kids are destroying the house, and it's so fucking annoying. We have the Sun card coming out at the bottom of the deck. I don't know why he's upset right now. He has his breakfast. I gotta go in there. We have the Page of Wands and the Six of Swords. Continue to walk away from what doesn't make you feel free. That's it, that's all. Alright. And continue just moving through what you want. The Star coming out at the bottom of the deck. That's Aquarius energy, so humanitarian, visionary, doing things differently. Hello, we need things to be done differently right now, obviously. That's another thing too. I just want to interject really quick on that. Yesterday I was so I posted on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, bathrooms are available, because I'm like, I can open up the bathrooms. But then I had a man comment that he was coming, and I was like, whoa, I never thought about having men in my house, because I had one man come when I was doing the art space, and he just two men came with their families. But I was like, wow, I didn't think about men coming into my house. That's something I'm not really excited about, at all. Men are weird. And so that, and then also I have a bunch of political stuff, obviously, stoner stuff all over my house. And so I was like, I don't know if it's safe right now. But I was like, you know what? I got to this point where I'm like, conversation starters, because I've got a defund the police sticker right here. And I hope someone says something about that, because the conversation would be like, yeah, I believe that we need more funding in community spaces instead of militarization, you know? I think that that's the way. So I'm like allowing myself to be a living art piece, and also I know I'm different. I'm not that worried about it. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Don't be afraid to be different, even if being different is being criminalized. These people are fucking weird. They're evil. Follow your heart. Follow your fucking heart. Do what you can to get yourself to a space of not only happiness within yourself, but also building something that will support others around you in your community, that Four of Wands energy, right? Find stability and balance within those spaces. And allowing yourself to move through your feelings as they come, right? Wish me luck. It's not even 8 o'clock. Have a good one.